Hi, it's Ursula from EasyScratch.com, and today I wanted to show you a cool technique that I came up with using some cheap silicone pot holders from Target. This is the way they came originally, and I ended up cutting out a shape using one of the wood dies from Accucut. As some of you may know, I don't use kitchen stuff actually in my kitchen. I bring it down into my craft room all the time. So anyway, again, cheapo silicone pot holders, and I cut a shape from it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to emboss big 12-inch paper using my Accucut machine. And wherever the rubber is, it's going to spot emboss. So I did another video on how to emboss using the Accucut machine using paper shapes or plastic shapes. If you haven't seen that video, very quickly you need the tray adapter from Accucut. And then some people have said that there's a Sizzix adapter that works with it to utilize the embossing folders from Sizzix. I don't have that. And so what I ended up using is just a bunch of cutting mats from Accucut, both the plastic and the purple work. In the video where I paper shaped embossed, I used 5 on the bottom, 5 cutting mats on the bottom, 1 on the top. Using the embossing folder and that rubber makes it a little bit too thick, so it doesn't quite work with this technique. So then what I ended up doing is I just grabbed a couple of sheets of paper and a piece of chipboard as shims. So for that 5th piece underneath, you're going to have to play around with it a little bit. If it rolls through too easily, it's not going to emboss as deeply. If it rolls through too thickly, I don't think you can wreck your embossing folder, but I suppose if it really is thick, you could. But it tends to spread out the pot holder piece and spread out the embossing part of it, so it doesn't work quite as well. So anyway, I've got my 2 sheets, piece of chipboard down, and then 4 cutting mats. And then I'm going to take a big 12-inch piece of paper. The first thing I'm going to, so I have all my shims here. I'm going to take an embossing folder, lay that down, and then I'm going to take my 12-inch piece and lay it on top, and then my little embossing mat shape, and put that somewhere where I want to emboss on that 12-inch sheet. And then I'm going to cover it with the last cutting mat. So mine is just a piece, it's just a piece of the purple mat. I did another video on this, that's why I like those purple ones, because you can actually cut them using heavy-duty, really heavy-duty shears. So I'm going to roll this whole sandwich through the Accucut machine. And where, if you can see, it's really hard to see embossing, where the mat was, it just embossed from the folder. So I could do it again in a different place. So say I want to emboss this whole sheet. Just run this whole sandwich through again. And now I have 2 shapes. So I could do the whole thing and then have spot embossed shapes all over my 12-inch paper. This is actually the coordinations paper that's 2-tone, so I can go through and sand that down and really make those embossed shapes pop. But how cool is that? Spot embossing using a pot holder from Target. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.